In this video, we experience and see some of the dirtiest driving in Gran Turismo history, and we feel it as well, as we get barriered at high-speed rings. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo video where we're doing Beat the Meta in a Nissan Silvia Spec R touring car. Yeah, it's quite the crazy attempt this is going to be, and we're going to go on a very big journey in this video as always. And once again, as always, if you do like this video, give it a like, do subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. But we're going to head into the high-speed ring here, daily race B, 6 laps, and we're going to see what we can do. We always start Beat the Meta with a last to first challenge. For all the rules, do check out the description, of course. All the information is in there. And the meta car this week is that Bugatti Veyron, which is catching me very quickly in that rear view mirror. We do have a Toyota GT86 ahead as well, which is interesting to see. We're going to head into the first major corner here then. And the racing line is, of course, this outside line, really capitalizing on the bank in there. And we survive it, which is great to see, unlike a lot of this video where it's going to get downright dirty. Speaking of dirty already, we've got a car off up ahead there. The Spanish driver off and comes back on and into the barrier. We'll have a look at what happened to them shortly as we go through this left-hander. That Samba driver up ahead is a wall rider, as we may see in this video actually. And he robbed with a 1-second penalty. I'll take the risk there with the Ghost. We gained 2 more spots there, up into P11 already as we head towards the final corner, and in we go then. Slight lift there just to make sure the Volkswagen, it's not Volkswagen, sorry, it's a Bugatti, although obviously it's a part of the Volkswagen group. The Bugatti there having some issues. Let's go back on the replay then. Let's have a look to the Spanish driver who instantly goes on a punting session there, pushes Rob into the barrier. No idea why. It's lap number 1 and they're punting people already. So we're going to jump on board Rob here, and I can only imagine that, well, this is fair game in my opinion, what's about to happen here. Rob's just going to absolutely send a patchy to Narnia there. Now, I don't like revenge punting in the slightest, but arguably that's probably the most obvious or perfect example of a revenge punt, which and arguably is reasonable. I don't really want to see it, if I'm honest with you. But, I mean, I have no idea what the Spanish driver was doing there, just being an absolute moron. But, hey, there we have it. Now, back in the racing then, we've got Rapper up ahead, and Sam is going to go on the wall riding journey once again. Oh, Raki gets that wrong there. The Toyota goes on through there. E-Fit Racer. And, yeah, we'll fall back a little bit there. Where was that Toyota GT86 going there? Whoa! Oh, they got it wrong there. We're going to go down the inside of them. Hopefully we can get ahead of them before this left-hander. Lap number 3 now already here as we head towards this banking, and in we go again. We're trying to avoid the wall riding. Of course we are, as we continue on out of there. Samba gets a 2-second penalty. Now they've wall rided every single lap so far, so I'm happy to see that 2-second penalty, if I'm honest with you. And Rapper sends it down the inside. Samba goes for the cutback. Oh, side bit contact, nothing major. Another driver up there, 2.5 seconds. Oh, dear me. Dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, me. Anyway, we're going to go through there. We gained 2 positions from all of that. Another one here for the penalty while they sit bang in the middle of the circuit. But even so, we're up into P8 when all's said and done. And this Silvia is pretty good, to be honest with you. We advance further on here then. The GT86 had a bum draft there from the Veyron, so we dropped 2 positions here on lap number 4. That GT86 looks like a handful there, nearly into the barrier. And the Veyron goes up into P8 then. As once again, lap number 4, here we go into the major corner. This is the major corner on the circuit, in my opinion. And it's where all the action always kicks off or happens. Okay, across the bridge we go. That Toyota nailed that perfectly here as we head in towards the chicane then. And they defend that position. We're going to try around the outside then. Let's go to Sport Chase cab. We can see this Silvia right here. Got a massive wang on it here as we go to the left-hander. But even so, it's got good top-end speed, this Silvia. It really does. It can keep up with the Veyron on the straights, which is nice to see. It's just getting there. That is the issue. And you can see here the Veyron in the slipstream of that Toyota. Going to go on through then so we don't gain anything from that one. And we remain in P10 for now as we go into the final corner. Really hard corner to nail this one. It really is, because a lot of the time you end up in the barrier, like Rapper did there. Slightly clips the barrier, but that's where a lot of people end up, because it just drifts out and you clip it and then you get stuck on it as well, which is really annoying. We fast forward a little bit here on lap number 5 in towards the left-hander once again. The Toyota trying around the outside. Respectful racing here between Rapper and the Toyota. It's nice to see, at least in this race, we do have some respectful racing as we go down the inside of the Spanish driver and in towards the right-hander we go. They're trying to hang it around the outside. Can the Veyron do it? Get that position as well? Wow, what a move there by Rapper. That is superb effort, that. It really is indeed. I try and go through. Can't quite make it work. There wasn't enough space there as we continue on out of there. Then let's fast forward a little bit more here. fantastic race this first one. It really is. But if you haven't guessed by the thumbnail and the title, there are issues there. The Toyota taps the Bugatti into the barrier. Arguably, you should wait up for the Bugatti driver at that point. I'm just going to say, sorry, but you need to give the position back potentially there, mate, because, I mean, you forced him into the barrier. He lost a second there. But even so, we're going to take P8 here as we continue on. I know that was a mistake, though. You can definitely tell it was a mistake by the Toyota driver. As we go into the left-hander here, then, that Toyota staying very close to me there, flashing lights away because they are a pad driver. So what they're doing is they're turning and just pressing that pad down a little bit there, the stick, and that is why we are getting the flashing lights. If you ever wondered that, that is exactly what's happening here. So we're going to try and maintain position there as we go into the left-hander. Now, this car is very good on the handling section. Of course it is. It's got a big old wing on it. It can go around very nicely, and you see there we've pulled away. And we actually finished there in P number 8 there. Not too bad of a first race, but you can see there, not a lot of A-plus drivers at all. And it did have me a little bit worried, to be honest with you. Now, C-Max Power in a different car as well, in that Toyota Supra, as we go to the next race. And I did a 1:14.3, so I was qualified for the next race. Yeah, we're very close to the limit already in this Silvia, I will be honest with you. It's really hard to qualify in this car. The Veyron is so strong on its own in terms of acceleration. It's going to be very difficult. Now, we've jumped straight into lap number 2 then here because nothing happened at all on lap number 1. But, hey, we fast forward to lap 2. You know there's going to be action. Here we go then. We've got Rapper in the Spotify liveried Bugatti Veyron. I assume they had that livery on in the previous race. But we know Rapper can race clean, which is always nice to see. When you know you've got someone you can race, it's always nice. As we go into the left-hander then, we continue on through there. You see Rapper gave Manu Rob some space on the outside. Nice to see. We're going to try on the outside of the Spotify machine, though, as we head in towards the chicane. They're trying to defend this. Ooh, they tried to outbrake me. I'm going to go for the cutback. Can it work? Here we go into the left-hander then. Can we get on the inside? We try. Can't quite. I have to lift off there. Otherwise, I was hitting Rapper. We go on board Juan here then, who's taking the penalty in the middle of the racetrack there. And they get hit by Manu Rob there. Now, again, they were ghosted, and they unghosted at the wrong time. And sort of in the wrong place there. If you take the risk of being in the centre of the track there with ghosting, you potential of that happening, and you can see that happening right there. So Manu Rob there with a 1.5 second penalty. Hits the brakes there. So there's a slight tap from Rapper. And I'm not a fan of what's about to happen here, as Manu Rob absolutely sends Rapper to Narnia there. I don't feel that revenge pump was necessary. Rapper's been racing clean, in my opinion. It was clearly a mistake. Yes, it is unfortunate you got a 1.5 second penalty. But Rapper was racing clean with you there for a good lap. So I don't like seeing it. I don't like seeing revenge pumps full stop. Look at this up here then. We've got, what, 6 cars there, all side by side? There's only one way this ends. There really is. You see me laughing my head off because I already know how this ends. We jump a bit further on in the race then, in towards the left-hander. And we can already see people getting barriered there. There's a big old hit from behind, and the German there loses out, so we'll take that position. Thank you very much. As we go into this right-hander, oh, the Spanish driver takes revenge on the Italian then, and that's well, they already had 2 second penalty. Are they going to get any more there? Yes, they do get 5 seconds. They're up to 7 now. 7 seconds. Yeah, again, punting. So far in every race we've seen punting so far, and this is why I'm making this video, and I'm going to talk about it a bit more at the end as well. There's more penalties there, up into P5 in the Silvia. You know, we started like P14 or something, and we did catch up to P4. We needed one more lap, and maybe we could have had a crazy son of a batch there. But even so, punting and dirty driving is insane in this race. It really is. It's a joke. It's an actual joke at this point. I can see why they don't use high-speed ring, because they haven't used it very often, and then the one time we do use it, look at what's happening to it. Anyway, we're in the Mclaren now. Decided the Silvia isn't possible. I jumped into the Mclaren. I did improve the quality time a little bit. This, to me, is the only car that can really nail a top-tier time in terms of against the Veyron. If you enjoyed this video, as always, do get a like and do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support here as we head in towards the first hard turn. And look at that. The Lambo completely leans on me and forces me into the barrier. Now, I thought that was a bit dirty. I even get barrier collision. You know, I get forced into the barrier, but I get the penalty. I thought it was a bit odd because it felt like they purposely did that. So we jump on board Iceman then to have a look at this. So we're going to head in towards the left-hander. In we go. And as we go through here, they're 100% throttle. Of course they are, because they think you can lean on somebody to make it round the corner. You, sir, are a moron. You are an absolute moron. And you are also a dirty driver. Just putting that out there right now, Iceman. You are a very dirty driver for doing that. As we head into the last corner there. So I had to take the penalty, of course, because I got a penalty as well. And the French driver struggling on the inside banking there. So we're going to go around the outside here and hopefully get that position. But yeah, we're just seeing just atrocious driving. His driving standards are absolutely diabolical. They really are. We get ahead of Steve-O here. Manu Robs had a penalty. I'm not sure what that is for then. Going quite slow here. So I go towards the inside. Now, I make a big mistake here. I'm trying to slow the car down. Not quite working out. Slightly tap Manu Rob here. And what I want to do is just let off and make sure they go. And there they are. They are ahead. So I was lifting off a little bit during the corner to make sure they got ahead. Apologies for that one. That's my mistake. But even so, I went for it on the inside and the car just went up. Which shows that a high-speed ring is not designed for racing at this moment in time. It's atrocious for racing, apparently, because we're just seeing absolutely brutal driving. But even so, that was my mistake. I'm happy to accept that that was my mistake, and I'm sure Manu Rob realised that was my mistake, because I let off and let them continue to go there. Anyway, we continue on here then with the French driver who was struggling on the last corner previously then. We're going to head in towards the left-hander as we go through here. I mean, these small contacts with the barrier isn't wall riding to me. It's just people racing. And we've actually got a good run on both the drivers on the left-hand side. Let's go to chase cam then as we try and get past Rob here. In towards the right we go. And a good side-by-side racing here. Is Rob going to defend this position? That is the question. Looks like Rob can defend this position. I tried to go around the outside. Doesn't actually work. We come back on board. And we're going to try and go on the inside. We have to lift there a little bit. Otherwise, we would have tagged that rear end. As we continue on then towards the last corner. In we go, trying to maintain the speed through here. You can really do it well in the McLaren, and Rob's just clipped the barrier then as we continue on there. I had to leave room as I was trying to go around, and we're going to have a drag race with a Veyron. How about that? McLaren versus Bugatti in a drag race. Bit better than the Suzuki and the Bugatti that we've done in the past, eh? If you're after previous Beat the Metas, do check out the description for the full playlist, of course. We have done some, and once again, we've got a table at the end to show you which ones we have and haven't done here. So, we are fully behind Rob here. I'm just trying to catch where I am here. Cobra is behind, who's just dropped back a bit. We've advanced a lap later, and we're still behind Rob then. So, Rob's going to defend the inside here, and we're going to go towards the left-hand side. I think I was going to try and bump draft there, but it sort of failed. Anyway, round the outside we go then. Can we make it work? Look at this. This is a second and a half. Slight contact between you two. Again, that's just a mistake from Rob. I can see the mistake there as we go into the left-hander. We're going to try and get through here as quick as possible. There we go. Job done. Happy days indeed as we continue on. But we have seen punting so far in every single race. We've got to still see what happens towards the end of it. It's not the end of the race so far. We've got lots of cars side by side. Oh, line of stern up ahead. Lots of racing action, should I say. And Rob's just clipped the barrier there again. Well, it's the final lap here. We go into the right-hander. We've got a train of cars in the distance. What could possibly go wrong here on the final lap? Well, let's find out. In towards the left we go. We've got a 1.5 second penalty. Jimster, hello to you. We've got a 1 second one. The German there over towards the left-hand side. Jimster, again, hello to you. I know you watch the videos. Shout out to you. Anyway, we're up into P7, and look who it is. It's the dirty driver from earlier. It's Iceman. Well, what we're going to try and do is go on the inside here, and let's see what we can do as we go into here. Once again, I'm trying to judge the speed accordingly. And I didn't do what you did, Iceman. You know, where you purposely put me into the barrier. I could have done that, but I didn't, because I know how to drive, and you don't. But even so, we come home in P7 then, and yeah, we're still quite far behind the leader here. We've got a different person in P2 in the 650S, but they had done their qualifying time in a in the Bugatti Veyron. Sorry, I'm trying to get my words here. Anyway, through here we go. I wanted to have a look at what happened in the line of stern moment there. So Jimster and Steve-O look like they got barrier hit penalties here as we go into the right-hander. How did the German lose it was the question then. So as we go through here, what's going to happen? Not too much. In towards the left we go. They hit the Bugatti, accelerate into the Bugatti again. They keep hitting the Bugatti. Well, the German just loses it by themselves there. So in the end, I think it was just everybody themselves there, basically. So Iceman ended up in P6. Right, okay, here we go with the next race. I'm starting P10 down the bottom left-hand side. Race number 2 here. And we jump straight into the race here. Lap number 1. We got Victor behind them, who's going to go down the inside here as we head towards his first break-in zone. We're going to try the racing line, of course we are. But as we go through here, guess what Victor's going to do? Of course, lean on me and put me into the barrier. What a moron. And was going to get the same penalty because this game doesn't know how to judge the fact that you've just been hit into a barrier. So we're going to try and go down the inside here. I was not amused in the slightest by that, because that's 2 races in a row now that's happened. You'd think people would learn how to drive, but hey, there we go. Apparently not. So through the left we go. We're going to have a penalty here. Now you're going to say, teacher on the racing line. I really didn't have anywhere to go with the other Bugatti there. So I'll try and get over towards the right-hand side here as much as possible to make sure that's the space in the middle. Let's have a look at Victor then. Is Victor going to be accelerating full throttle through this corner? That's what I'm interested in. A half throttle, full throttle. Push me into a barrier. Once again, you're a dirty driver as well, Victor. What I'm saying now, everybody who's watching this video, that's not the last we're going to see of Victor. Now let's have a look at the French driver here who came through and is a victim in all of this because they get stuck because Victor decided to be a moron and went for a spin. So you ruined more than one person's race there for being a moron. Right, okay, let's jump back on board then. Lap number 2 here. We've got the Danish driver, Casper, trying round the outside. It's a very Danish name, isn't it, Casper? Anyway, going to try around the outside here. You can see the speed difference in that Bugatti Veyron. It is huge then. As we head into this left-hander, what can we do here? Casper just clips the barrier then, so we are going to have a strong run here. Grizzly, I have no idea what Grizzly was doing there. I think it was trying to get out of the way of us two. Went left as Casper went left. But hey, we'll take full advantage of that and go down the inside. So we'll get a 2 for 1. That's what we like to see. Grizzly's still fighting this though, even though they've got a 0.5 second penalty. As we go through here, lean on me a little bit there. And ooh, no, that's okay. It's all good as we continue on. You can see me put my hand up there. That's more because of the racing with a penalty. Right, we look up ahead. Manny Rob's down the inside of Jimster here. Look who's back. Yes, it's the moron ahead of us in P number 9. And let's see what happens here then in this race. So through the left we go. Do we have a run on Victor? Yes, we do. So they go left. I'm going to go right. And Jimster, unfortunately, has a penalty. So we are up to P9 then as we head towards the final corner. And it's going to be the start of the final lap as well as we go into here. Look at this, Victor. I could push you into the barrier, but I choose not to because I'm not a moron. Unlike you, obviously. But even so, we go through that corner, racing clean because I can do that. And we're going to be in the slipstream now. So we head towards the left-hander here. And Rob's, I don't know if it was pushed into the barrier or not there, not too sure. Anyway, there's space down here and Victor purposely turns into me. How do I know he purposely turned into me? Well, let's have a look at the replay, shall we? So we've got the, well, I mean, the speedo is massive here, but look at the red dot is steering, okay? That's the steering here. So as we go into the left-hander, we go through this, and that's not too bad. And now I've slowed it down here at 50%. Look, going straight. Sees me, turns right. I mean, you have to be a moron to do it multiple times, but even so, and you're a part of a team as well, which is even more moronic because you're just saying that the team's a bit of a crappy team, to be honest with you. Now, I will happily say TCR have made mistakes before, and people message me, and we discuss it with the team members and make sure that it doesn't happen again. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You're doing it multiple times, so it's not mistakes. That's literally you being an absolute plonker. But there we go. So come on with P7 in this McLaren 650S. I was going to give it up, if I'm honest with you. I really was going to give it up because every single race so far has had dirty driving in it. every single one. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to have one more go. One more go. We're starting P13 this time. That quality time, there's a 10th left in the McLaren. That is it. And one of the problems with this race is the fact that I can't qualify any better because people are wall riding. So without wall riding, I can't do it. If you enjoyed this video all the same, with the editing, of course, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Or if you do support the comments, this race is ridiculous at the moment with the driving standards, do let me know. We have overtaken somebody who got walled there into that first important corner. And we're going to go into this left-hander with a very nice delivery Veyron up ahead of Tigers Lacure. I have no idea how to pronounce that. We're going to try around the outside here of that Bugatti Veyron then. And we go, look at that, reverse Mosey maneuver. Well, we're up a few positions then, up into P9. And there's the driver from the first race, actually, Alba Ryder, as we go into this left. And you see how good the McLaren here is then. So we go through here, and Alba's just going to turn right because I have no idea. You know, it's one of those where it's just like, I have no idea what goes through the minds of some of these people sometimes, but hey, something strange does. Anyway, we're behind one here then, and we're going to try bump drafting, and we get a big old bump draft netcode issue there. What we'll do is jump on the reverse camera then as we head into here. Now, I'm pretty sure Tiger saw what happened there and gave the Spanish driver a bit of a punt, and somebody else comes in, rubbing very hard. Apparently, everybody, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore because of that. I get a big old bump draft there as we head in towards this left-hander. I try and slow the car down as much as I can. A slight tap from the rear does force me into the barrier. Fortunately, I do not get a penalty because I would have been well frustrated with that. Somebody with a 2-second penalty in the distance here. We're having a good race with the French driver at least then as we go into the right-hander. And we're looking to calm it down now and see what positions we can make in this race as we go into the left-hander. We're definitely going to go up one place, end up in P7. I don't know if there's any more penalties in the distance. That is the question. And they are sticking towards the right-hand side as we advance further on. So once again, I'm looking to work with one here just to try and catch up to the next group of cars, and then I can try and overtake. That's my plan at least, and that is the strategy I expected most people to use in this race, but apparently not. Everybody thinks they're quicker than everybody else, even though everybody's wall riding, but hey, there we go. So in towards the left-hander we go. Unfortunately, Juan gets it wrong there. It goes for a lot of wall riding, as we continue on through. So unfortunately, that's just going to slow us down massively, and all that help. And you see me shaking my head there. That's the reason. It just didn't help at all. But it could have been a mistake all the same. We all do make them as we go into the final corner. I'm hoping to get a good run through here, but Juan once again goes into the barrier and grinds away on that outside barrier there. So we end up in P6, but this isn't the end of the race. We jump on board this Portuguese driver who comes into here, wall riding, hits triple up ahead. We've got Arc in it. This is 1.5 second penalty then for the Portuguese driver. But guess what? We've seen dirty driving in every race. Here's no exception. Absolutely sends Arc to the realms there into the barrier. Now, I know Arc can be dirty sometimes as well. I'm not seeing in this particular race. So I went back and had a look if there was any dirty driving from Arc. And I really couldn't see that much, to be honest with you, in this particular race. So, literally, we're on board the Portuguese driver here. And what are they going to do? They're going to go for some... Oh, no, a little bit of wall riding, nothing major. The only thing I could see here was the slight mistake. Arc ran a little bit too wide. But that wasn't a proper wall in. That's literally just ran a little bit too wide. It slowed you down a little bit. If you're punting somebody like that, for that, again, I'm just... I don't even know what to say. It's like, why? What's the point? Anyway, we go back to the live race now. GTR, of course, going slow after that. Huge sending to a realm, and we're going to go into P5, then P4, because the Portuguese driver actually ended up with a 5-second penalty for it. So I think it was 6.5 in the end. We jump to the final lap, and we go on board the Spanish driver then in P3, fighting for the P2 here as we go through turn number 1. And again, we're going to just see some absolute moronic driving here. So we're going to head towards this important moment here. There's a slight tap on the race. Nothing major. Triple did not mean... It's not trying to punt you there by any stretch of the imagination. But the Spanish driver loses his head and apparently thinks that's happening. So forces Triple into the barrier. No penalty given whatsoever. So Gran Turismo, please, I have no idea what you need to do to sort this out, but it needs sorting. And ends up in P2. Triple was not trying to punt you. Literally, they were just trying to get to the racing line. They misjudged it slightly, but you decided, because you're some angry person, that you have to hit the hammers and try and punt them straight away. Just a moronic. Absolutely moronic. Anyway, we get a good run through this last corner, and I'm expecting to be punted here, if I'm brutally honest. So they go left, so I go right here, and yeah, I'm just make sure I've got something of space. And I forget to change gear. So I think the change of gear there did cost me with the run to the line. But we come on with P3 in the end, and said P7, but that is going to be the end of the video. And I gave up after this because I was like, it's just dirty driving everywhere, and I'd lost a lot of DR on this account already, and all it is taking avoiding action. I can't improve my quality without wall riding, and I'm not doing that. Remember, I quality in the car that I have chosen, so the McLaren at max will probably get a 0.7 just, but that's it. It's not going to get anywhere closer, not with all the wall riding. So before we get on to the beat the meta tables, I just want to say this. High-speed ring doesn't help with the optimum racing line being the outside. I think it needs to redesign this track personally, lower the banking a little bit. It means that we can go for better racing lines. But as a community and as a whole, we really need something. Gran Turismo really need to do something, because we're at the point now where we're just seeing people punt people for the slightest of touches. You've just seen it in this video. People hitting people, punching people off very quickly, and they're making no efforts to race clean as well. Some people, they literally will purposely fit you into a barrier or push you off or push you into a barrier because it makes them go around quicker. It's mental. So for me personally, Gran Turismo need to do something. Now, I had an idea about building a community system where you can vote, you can submit replays, and people can monitor this, but I just don't have the time to build it. I really don't. If I was doing this full time, potentially I could, but I really don't have the time. So for me, Gran Turismo need to do something. So hire some community members, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you need that can keep up with the logs that come in, and let them actually ban people. Ban people very quickly, because yes, I have access to ban people essentially. I've got contacts in PD I can email. I've got 3 I think I can contact. But even so, the fact that I can contact people and you can't, that's unfair as well. And we've seen it in this race. It's atrocious driving. It's absolutely atrocious. I hate it. I really, really, really do hate it. And I want to see something change. I really do. So please do something about it. Hire some community members to start doing this. You know, literally, if a player is punting or has 2 or 3 reports, and in each race they're punting people, ban them. Ban them for 7 days. If they come back, do it again, 2 or 3 times again, ban them for 14 days. Now, I'm not saying, literally, ban them on their first punt or whatever. I'm saying if they're constantly doing it, there needs to be some reporting going on there. We've just seen that in this race. The same people are doing the same things over and over and over again. It's mental. And this should include revenge punting, I must add as well. Because revenge punting is not helping the situation either. Because when you go to revenge punt someone, more than likely somebody innocent is going to get hit by it. You know, I had somebody complain on one of my other videos the other day. I've not responded to it yet because I'm a bit behind on comments again by about 5 days. But they complained because they punted someone and nearly took out somebody else. Don't complain about it. Don't revenge punt in the first place, and then that way you can carry on racing and racing clean. If someone does something stupid, report them or try and avoid them. I hate this whole revenge punting system. I can understand it sometimes, like I did with Manu Rob, where the Spanish driver randomly punted him on lap 1. But again, I don't like seeing it, and I don't want it in the races that I do. So if you do purposely revenge punt, I will call it out because you shouldn't do it. And if you are crashing into people, I will call you out because you should not do it. It's ruining daily racing, and more and more people are moving away from Gran Turismo, which in turn means daily racing becomes less popular, means less investment, less interest is put into it, and I would argue that's probably the reason why the daily races aren't changing that much in terms of the tracks. If I put a whole load of effort into something where very minimal people are playing, why? There is no point, and I can see that that is probably one of the reasons why Gran Turismo don't invest that much into daily racing at the moment, if I'm brutally honest. I really, really, really do believe that. But even so, it is what it is. I've tried my best to advertise good racing, clean racing. We've got TCR. You know, at the start of TCR, we had some bad eggs, which we've got rid of. And I've always said, if you're a part of a team and you do bad driving, you are representing that team. So I've always said, if TCR member is driving awfully in terms of their revenge punting or whatever, let me know immediately and we can deal with that. So I really, really do want to see an improvement personally in this because it is becoming rubbish. And I gave up on Beat the Meta because of that reason. I really did. Even so, let's jump into these tables then. Let's have a look at the final results then. So I'm not actually going to show any changes here in terms of literally greens and positions for the McLaren or the Nissan Silvia, just because there's no point. There really is no point, if I'm honest with you. What's the point in changing? But if you do want to see your favorite car in terms of driving in Beat the Meta, where we can actually do a proper race, then let me know in the comments. So all you've got to do, for example, is put McLaren 650S Group 4. It becomes a vote. I add it up. The cars with the highest votes, like the Nissan Silvia was this week, gets tried out. If it's workable, I will give it a try. If it's not, I will try something else. And if it's not workable at all, we may give up. This week we gave up because the dirty driving is atrocious. In other weeks, if it becomes not fun, well, arguably this became not fun very quickly, I would stop as well. But I do want to still win with every single Group 4 and Group 3 car in the game. And that is what I am trying to do. We're going to head towards the final page then, where these cars have certainly not been up there in terms of the votes. So you really, really do recommend you vote for these. If you want to see them, you're going to have to push them up that little bit. And you can vote multiple times. So in each video, you can vote for the same car if you want. Those votes do get added up. That is going to be it for this video, though. Sorry to go on a bit of a rant at the end of it, but I feel like that rant needed to be said because, I mean, it's just proven this week that we can't actually have decent daily races because we've just got so many morons within them currently. We really do. Big thank you, as always, for watching. I really do appreciate your support. If you have enjoyed this video, as always, do get a like and do subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. 2 videos there to check out, including previous Beat the Metas and, of course, GT Amiga and Fanatec. They do support the channel. So use the links in the description to check them out. You do get some discounts, and you can also use code Tidgney at checkout. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.